Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of my top 10 games for 2011. I've added some improvements from part 1, such as adding annotations to the trailer so you can actually watch them, and I've also made it more condensed so when the trailer of that certain game ends, I stop talking about it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy my little countdown of 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Enjoy. At number 6 I've decided to put Zelda. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So I'm not 100% sure whether Nintendo will release this game in 2011, but it seems there's a good idea that this game will release in that year, and I know Nintendo want to perfect it, so there might be a delay and all that, but why Zelda isn't number 1, number 2 or something like that is probably because I'm kind of burnt out on Zelda at this point. I mean, I was really hyped for Twilight Princess, and when I finished it I thought, it was an amazing game, but then it was just over. And I never really returned back to it. So with all the previous Zeldas, even Wind Waker, I would even jump back into that game probably now and sail through the sea or something like that. And Twilight Princess never had that, and I just hope Skyward Sword does have that, because I really like the art style. I really think it's going to be a rich, exciting, a lengthy game, and it's going to probably be a lot of fun, but I think it needs more side quests. Because collecting beetles, fishing and such, I've kind of done that all before, and even though I do really enjoy the Zelda series, unless Skyward Sword has improved side quests and maybe even a longer story, then it's not going to be my favourite game of 2011, but if it does, it might just be. So yeah, I like the style of the game. It's got a nice blend of Wind Waker and the more mature titles like Twilight Princess, and I'm looking forward to it, so yeah, good on you Nintendo for choosing a very good art style. Number 7 on my list goes to a racing game called Dirt 3. I played Dirt 1 and thought, nah, this is kind of crappy, and straight away never played it again. But then I played Grid, and thought, bloody hell, this is a great game. I love Grid to pieces. It was one of my favourite racing games at the time, and still is. I love the look of it, the handling of the cars, the physics and the fun I had online, and it was a great time. And if I could go back again, I would play it, but I don't have any money at the moment to buy it. But when I found out that Dirt 2 was going to be made by the guys that made Grid, I thought I'd give it a shot, and whilst Dirt 2 was very similar to Grid, it kind of built upon it. It had loads more content, it still looked great, and the online racing was just hilarious and exciting, and the music was good too, so it hit all the right marks of a racing game for me. And whilst there hasn't been much information on Dirt 3, I'm confident that Codemasters, the developers of Dirt 3, are going to make a great, if not an amazing game. So yeah, I think Dirt has something that other races don't have, and I'm not sure what it is, but it's got a spark to it. So yeah, I can't wait for Dirt 3. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm just wondering what new improvements they're going to add to the game, because I want to see something a bit new. If it's too similar to Dirt 2, I might get a bit burnt on it, but yeah, I'm sure it's going to be good fun. Number 8 on this list goes to a game that I did demo first impressions not too long ago, and that game is Dead Space 2. I felt Dead Space 1 was, well, to be honest, overrated, and that was only until I played it. Dead Space 1 is a great game, which I strongly feel it's not as good as a similar playing Resident Evil 4, and I feel Resident Evil 4 is just an overall better game, but I feel it's better than Resident Evil 5, and where the Resident Evil series is going at this point. Resident Evil to me doesn't feel scary anymore. It's more action packed, and whilst Dead Space doesn't really scare me that much, it's still got those elements of horror. You feel alone, isolated, it's gory as hell, and it's just a great time. And when playing the demo, it gave me a really good indication that Dead Space 2 is going to be a lot like Dead Space 1, which I don't mind, but it's going to be improved in every single way. The controls are much better, the story seems more unique and interesting. There's varied necromorphs, weapons, and I really feel Dead Space 2 is going to be a blast. And what's so keen on the multiplayer aspect, I don't know how that's going to really play out. I haven't heard much good things about that, but I've read 1 or 2 reviews of this game already, and it's being received really well. Apparently it's got a lengthy campaign, so yeah, I can't wait for Dead Space 2. It's right around the corner in a couple of weeks, and I'm probably going to pick it up. So yeah, Dead Space 2 is my number 8. For number 9 though, it's a fighting game, and it's called Marvel vs. Capcom Fate of Two Worlds. I know the little subtitle there was wrong, but never mind. But anyway, If you want to abbreviate it, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for the win, and for the win it is. It's been years since I've been waiting for a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 sequel, and it's finally coming. I enjoyed the second one quite a lot when I played it on the Dreamcast from time to time, and doing fights like Spider-Man versus Wolverine or something like that, and it was just really, really good fun. And this sequel seems to borrow quite a lot from Street Fighter 4, which wasn't released too long ago. I think that was released last year, and there was a super version of that as well, which, you know, I kind of expected that from Street Fighter anyway, but it's got that kind of style and presentation, which I personally don't have a problem with. I think that's great. The roster of characters look great too. You got what's his name? You got Deadpool in there. You got Dante, which is ridiculous, from Devil May Cry. Some of my all-time favorite Capcom characters, Marvel characters as well, are still in there, so that's fantastic. The only thing stopping it from being higher on my list is probably online. I used to play against bots, and I wasn't the best player in the world, but I was an able player, and if I want to play online and I get my ass kicked, that's going to probably piss me off. So hopefully there's a ranking system or something where I can face off against similar players. In terms of design, this is probably the closest game you're going to get to something like Super Smash Bros. So yeah, I can't wait for Marvel vs. Capcom, and playing as Dante especially. So this is my number 9. And finally, number 10 on my list goes to the new Mortal Kombat game, the kind of the reboot one. I haven't been decided for a Mortal Kombat game in years. My favourite was Mortal Kombat 2, and this seems to borrow a lot of elements from it. The fatalities look fantastic, it looks great, and I've heard rumours of it playing at 60 frames per second, so that's going to be great fun. I like a lot of the characters in Mortal Kombat. The fighting is very addictive, and playing with friends, it's going to be a lot of fun too, especially having Sub-Zero and Scorpion, you know, the classic matchup. So this Mortal Kombat game's got that kind of nostalgic feeling, and if it can captivate that into a great fighting game, I'll be playing Mortal Kombat for quite a bit. So Mortal Kombat was my favourite titles back in the day, and this reboot has given me hope that MK is back on track. So let's hope this is a good one. Mortal Kombat is my number 10, and yeah, finish him. Alright, that was part 2 of my top 10 games of 2011. I hope you enjoyed it, and leave a comment of your top 10 games of 2011, or just games you're interested in this year. So yeah, I look forward to your responses, and take care.